Welcome to another edition of Know Your Schools on WISD TV. My name is Dale Caffey, and my very special guest today is Larry Carpenter. He is your new Director of the Fine Arts at the Waco Independent School District. Larry, congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
You've been named the Director of Fine Arts, and this will be yet another hat that you'll wear at Waco ISD. You've worn many of them.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about your educational background and dating back pre-Waco ISD.
Okay. I started my career at a very small community, Penelope ISD, out in Hill County. I was a fifth grade teacher there. Helped direct one act play. Got to advance to state with that. A couple of times. It was great. Then I came to Waco ISD at Hillcrest PDS in the early days, and I was a multi-age classroom teacher there, and fortunately was able to help start what has become the annual key event at Hillcrest with the Showtime, and started that with the current music teacher there, Paula Hoover, my team partner Melody Strode, and then our GT specialist at the time, Jim Patton. And I'm happy to say that 20 years later, that Showtime is still going strong. So it's exciting to be a part of that, and stepping into this role this particular year with that 20th anniversary coming up. It's pretty special. Did some high school work outside of the district at China Spring, where I was a theater director and speech and debate coach, that kind of thing. Then I felt my calling back here at Waco ISD, was ready to come back. So I came and actually was a theater teacher and English teacher at University High School at the old location. And then it was while I was there that I was able to move into administration, and became an assistant principal there. And then a few years back, 4 years back, I was named principal at Hillcrest PDS. Unique situation there, being able to go back and be principal where you'd been a teacher. And then moved into advanced academics the past couple of years, and have had a role there. But I've always expressed interest in possibly one day being with the fine arts as director or in the department, and timing is everything, as they say, and I'm a good place, right time, and I'm excited. I'm just so very excited.
Great. You obviously have a love for theater. Let's talk about your college experience and where you went and what you majored in and minored in.
All right. I went to Texas Tech University for my undergrad. I grew up just east of town here, and we really only had one act play, so that had been my only real theater experience. And so when I got up to Tech, I majored in broadcast journalism. I had a real love there for that. Being on the TV rather than writing for newspapers, you know, that was an exciting time. But I found myself with some of my humanities courses, I was taking mostly theater courses. And so I wound up actually with a minor in political science, which was a goal to go along with the broadcast journalism, but then ended up with the theater background as well. And while there, I got to do quite a few of lab theater shows and things. It's a lot of the master's programs that were going on at the time, they were writing original scripts and those kinds of things, and they always needed actors and actresses to be part of those shows, and got to be part of quite a few of those master's thesis productions and things, and very exciting, and I really didn't know then, you know, how that would guide me down this road, so to speak, and so that's where, I mean, it all started with one act play in high school, and involvement with band and those kinds of things, and then here we are today. It's great.
With a district the size of Waco ISD, with 2 high schools and of course great middle school programs as well, the parents at home and our community need to know how important the Director of Fine Arts is at a school like ours, because your job basically is to give the directors of the choir and the band and whomever the support they need to be successful.
That is correct. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it. How do you do that?
Yeah, one, you promote. We have some excellent directors, whether it's in the music world, band world, choir, theater, our art teachers, and our early programs at our elementary campuses as well. we have some great things going on out there, and we have some very talented kids in this district. And I think step one is to let the folks know, let our fine arts department know, I'm here for you, and I'm here for your kids, and I want to promote what you're doing. And be the biggest cheerleader in the world for our department, and really get the word out and around the community. Just, you know, everything that we've got going on. We do a pretty decent job in some areas of highlighting, but you know, there's a lot happening in the fine arts, and truth be told, the fine arts is kids that get involved with fine arts. Those are the kids, you know, that and athletics kinds of things. Those kids, they get involved in those extracurricular. And then they want to stay in school and keep their grades up because they need to remain eligible to participate in those kinds of things. And so I'm a big proponent that the fine arts, one, need to be promoted and supported, and that two, you know, I'm going to be there for my people, because I am not an island unto myself, and for us to be successful as a district fine arts department, it is all about the team effort. And I'm going to play my role within that.
And as a fine arts director, you're going to have the responsibility of replacing good directors who move on, because we've had some come through here who've been grabbed by bigger districts, obviously. Yes. And that's going to happen. And so your job will be going out and seeking those up-and-comers and those established ones as well. But we've been very fortunate so far. Yes, sir.
I very fortunate, and just was in a meeting with our soon-to-be leaving fine arts director, former fine arts director, Philip Morgan, and as far as positions this year, we're looking really good going into the start of school. All but I'll call it a half of a base. all but a half a base is covered, and we've got some good quality folks who are staying on and really helping build our programs. And then we've got some new folks coming in, so a variety of energy levels there, and teamwork, and how they will work off of one another to really continue moving forward. Mr. Morgan did a great job of propelling us forward, and I don't want that train to stop.
Right.
I want to continue moving forward, and been thinking about some things that maybe I could bring in differently to help, you know, continue that process.
Well, let's talk about some of those goals you have. But first of all, point out the fact that yes, Philip did a great job, and we're glad to see him further his career in the Houston area. It happened sort of late, so you're having to jump on board here in August as we're taping this interview. Usually you get jobs like this in maybe April or May.
April, May, June at the latest,
right.
Typically. Yeah.
You're getting it at August, so what does that do to you? Or, you obviously have familiarity with the district, so that's a plus.
That's a
You're
plus.
not just moving in from the outside.
That's true. I think what's really beneficial for me, and why I feel so very comfortable making this transition at this later date, is that one, I have a fine arts background, and that's where my love and my passion has been there all through my educational career, regardless of what I was teaching or what role I was playing, if you will, within the educational system. I've continued to be, even though I've been in a different department, I've been a support to the theater programs. I've been a support to the band programs, to choir programs, to art, and through UIL, getting to work with the elementary music teachers and the elementary art teachers and things, and then the same at middle school. So I've really gotten to know a lot of the people that are in place right now, and see what they've already been doing with their kiddos. And so, even though it's coming in, it's a late transition, I already feel like I know quite a few of the folks. I know what their visions are. I know how I can play a part within those visions, and so it's not as stressful as it
Right.
might have been had I've been walking into a completely new district and no knowledge of what had already been occurring. So I'm just excited. I mean, I know it's happened very quickly, and I'm going to miss my folks in advanced academics on a daily basis, but we've already been talking about some things where fine arts can support the GT programs and vice versa. And so you know, that's what it's all about for me, is continuing to provide opportunities for our kids, whether it's through performance or you know, in the academics. So.
You mentioned already knowing some of the vision that the directors have. You yourself have a vision for where you'd like to take this program, or some ideas to make it even better.
Right. I know that, especially with House Bill 5, and fine arts is one of those key areas where we could, as a district, be exemplary across the board. But for that to happen, you have to offer art and theater and band music, you know, all the music areas, and dance. That's part of the state curriculum that's available in fine arts. And so what I'm interested in doing is finding a way, whether it's through writing grants, or maybe once I get a chance to really look at the budget for our department, in some of the schools that may not have a full-time art teacher or a music teacher or various things going on, looking for some opportunities for artists in residence to come in. And not just necessarily your typical artist in residence. One idea I have is, I took a trip this summer to Colorado, and a friend of mine was working in an Indian jewelry store. And when I got the call about possibly becoming fine arts director, that's one thing that kind of rolled with me was, you know, maybe an Indian jewelry maker, that's a form of art. Yeah. That is something that not only is a form of art, but could teach our kids some skills that would then lead possibly into job. And so that's how my brain kind of works. I think, you know, how might we provide opportunities that wouldn't be your normal everyday, and do that in our schools that don't necessarily have the staffing to be able to pull that off on a day-to-day basis. So looking at possibly bringing in some artists in residence and things, and of course that would be something that would have to grow, because you have to pay them. Right. But that would give us a chance to have a traveling artist, if you will, and hit many campuses and give many more kids opportunities where they may not have had up to this point. Other pieces of that would really love to see, like middle school, they already do their one-act play contest, but to give additional opportunities. There's a few organizations around that they can come in, and they'll have auditions on a Monday, and they're putting on a show by Friday or Saturday. And it's in my world, when I had participated in that myself, we called it Theater Marathon. Mm-hmm. And we'd really like to see, you know, we could bring in these artists who they help the kids develop the sets and the costumes and all of these in this 1 week time, plus audition and put on the show. So it's really kind of an all-encompassing opportunity. I'd love to have like a middle school festival of those marathon performances. Finding a time in the calendar and those kinds of things. Right. That's another piece of the puzzle I'd really like to look into. Just in general, really showcasing our kids all around this community. I've already been in talks with several people that, you know, I have a dentist friend, and she's like, I would love to display art in my lobby, you know, and then a restaurant that I go to quite frequently, they're like, we would love to have some Waco ISD artist material here and showcase. So that comes back to that promoting.
Sure. And that's all a part of it. We're not just talking about paid advertisement or television coverage like we like to do on right. WSD TV. We've been at the Showtime for going on 20 years.
That's right.
I don't think we've missed one.
Nope, you guys have been there every step of the way. But just really letting this community, the greater Waco area, realize what Waco ISD fine arts kids are producing and getting that out there. Just because we have kids that have gone on and done professional things in a variety of the fine arts areas. And unless you've stayed connected with them because of a personal relationship, you may not know of those successes. And we have, I mean, kids all over the United States and even around the world in some way, some form or fashion are living their passion of the arts while performing for their profession. And it's amazing. And we just got to get that word out there. Get that word out there. And it all starts right here. You know?
Very good. Well, I know you're excited. You're passionate about this new job you have. I know that you are ready to get going. Anything that I forgot to ask you that you want to tell the folks at home?
No, I'm ready to hit the ground running. I start officially on Monday, but I've been, as soon as I got the call, I've been reaching out to people around the state that I have connections with in all the arts areas and things, and really just getting excited. And so you know, I get to see all my teachers this next Friday, because they come back on Thursday, and then we have fine arts half-day session on Friday, and so I get to be with them all and just celebrate the beginning of another year and you know, laying out those plans and really moving us forward as a district.
Great. Larry, congratulations once again.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Once again,
it.
this is Larry Carpenter, the new Director of Fine Arts at the Waco Independent School District. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Know Your Schools.